and just black with white background. It literally said, if you happy and you know it, clap your hands. And it immediately took me back to when I was 5 years old. Cool Springs Elementary School, Miss Taylor was my kindergarten teacher. And she was a really nice lady, you know, because as a child, you know when people are cool, right? That you just sense that spirit. She was about 25, I would say. And every day before we even did the Pledge of Allegiance, we had to sing the happy song. And I haven't heard If You're Happy and You Know It in a long time because I don't have children. They probably, you know, still do that with kids in school, but I don't have kids. And I hadn't heard that song in a while. And I hadn't sung it in 50 years. So in case you're trying to figure out how old I am, I'm 55. Those of you who are doing the whole 50, 5 years old, kindergarten, 55. And so I decided that I would share that song with you today because words are powerful. And those are really simple words, but you cannot sing that song without smiling. So I just wanted to share that powerful experience that I had today because like I said, I hadn't thought about that song in forever. And the reason why I shared that song with you is not just because of the song, but because I wanted to share my happiness, my joy, and to encourage you to sing a little bit of that song on your way home today, okay? The second reason why I share that with you too is so many times we have rules and regulations. Like, I thought like, Linda, you can't, and that was the negative Nadine in the back saying, girl, that's dumb. You gonna sing that song, you're not even gonna have any kids there, everybody's grown. Why do you wanna sing that? Why are you changing everything? You practiced your whole speech and now you wanna change it like that with that dumb song? And the old me, before I worked on myself, the uncourageous, fearful me, for a second said, you right, Nadine. We ain't gonna sing that dumb song, that stupid song. It's gonna be a whole bunch of grown people there and they're not even gonna be able to relate to that. But, as you can see, me and Nadine was duking it out and I knocked her out. And I'm here singing my song, and thank you very much for allowing me to do that. Now, one of the reasons why I know that I am a courageous woman is because when I was driving down the highway of life, I was a hoopty. I was a hoopty driving down the highway of life. And it took me a while before I realized that, Linda, girl, you tripping. You are a one-of-a-kind, top-of-the-line, upscale, luxury automobile. I'm talking magnificent Maserati, lavish Lamborghini, bodacious Bentley, right? But then somehow along the way though, as I'm driving down Life Highway, I forgot all about that. I forgot that God made all of us in His image. And God don't make mistakes. But the mistake that we make is to forget that we came here with all the bells and whistles. We came here fully loaded. Fully loaded. And so I had to work on myself. I had to figure out, well, Linda, what happened as you were driving down Life Highway? What happened? If you came here with all the bells and whistles, then that means you kind of like the Batmobile. That means if you're going through some detours in life, you just push the button and zoom, you go around it, right? That means if I come to some obstacles in the road, if I come to some roadblocks, some lane closures, I just push pushing on the button, because that's how it happens in Batman the movie, right? But what happens is a lot of time, we just sit in the car. We forget that all we have to do is push the button. Because God already made us with all the bells and whistles, but so many times we just sit in the car. We don't start it up. We don't push the button. We don't do the click click so the door can open. And for some of us who still do have hoopties, maybe we got to pull up the latch, right? But we forget to do that. And so I started thinking, well, Linda, how do you get back to being a top-of-the-line, luxury, one-of-a-kind car? And so I had to backtrack. And a lot of times when we get off the highway of life and we have to take the side roads and the side street, we park. See, the freeway is the closest way to get anywhere, but if you park, like even on your GPS, it takes you 5 hours, right, taking the street, and 25 minutes on the freeway. So a lot of times we get confused with stagnation, and we think that's movement. No, you moving, but when you dog pedal, you know how you dog paddle? You moving, right? But you ain't going nowhere. And so many of us dog paddle through life. I was dog paddling through life. But the first thing I had to do was to admit that I wasn't moving. And so many times we just convince ourselves that, you know what, you got it going on. You doing things, girl. No, you not. You not doing nothing. Your crew's not doing nothing. Nobody you know is doing nothing. And y'all all high five and pat each other on the back, right? But it's when you decide that, you know what? I'm tired of being stagnant. I'm tired of being stuck. It's time for me to take my game to the next level. That is when change happens. When you make a decision that you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. And that's how I got. I got sick and tired of being sick and tired. I told myself, Linda, you are disrespecting your gifts and talents. You sleeping on what God put you here to do. And it's time to step up your game. So, my transformation really happened when I went to a motivational conference. And there was something that the speaker said that just rocked my world. She said, you have nothing to hide, nothing to prove, nothing to protect, and nothing to defend. And even though it was about 600 people in the audience, I knew that she was only talking to me. And it was then at that moment, I said, you know what? I've been protecting, I've been proving, I've been defending all my life. And she said, if anybody has anything that they want to say, this is a safe space. And I said, well, I wonder who else is gonna get up, because I'm not getting up first. And one lady got up, and she shared how she used to date married men because she didn't feel good about herself. And she told herself that the reason why she dated the men was so that she would never get her heart broken. So then I said, well, gosh, that's not really saying a lot. A whole bunch of folks date married people. It's sad to say, but it's the truth. So I said, well, I guess I'm gonna get up and say something. And I got up and I said, you know, I have herpes. And there are times when I get so tired of the whole game that I have to play with guys, because I don't know if I tell them on the first date, on the fourth date, on the fifth date, on the ninth date, on the third month, on the half year, when do you tell somebody that you have herpes? And what man is going to take a chance on somebody with an incurable STD? And so, all of a sudden, I just heard people clapping. I'm like, they obviously didn't hear what I just said. I said I had herpes and incurable STD. But they were clapping for me. And they were clapping for me because one lady came up and she just said, "Thank you, sister, for sharing what I have not to this day shared, and I've had herpes for 20 years. And then another person said, "Thank you, sister, for sharing what I have not been able to share because of the shame and the pain and the blame." And so I'll leave you with this. So many times we think that our story is our fortress. But I would beg to ask you to restate that as your story is your glory. Because if it's really who you are anyway, then you might as well own who you are. Because it makes no sense to cut off your nose to spite your face. Thank you so much.